Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister representing the Treasurer, Senator Gallagher. Today, the inflation rate jumped to 3.2%. Does the government admit that having spending growth running at 4 times the rate of the economy, debt set to reach $1.2 trillion is fuelling inflation and hurting all Australians?
Thank you, Senator Paterson. Minister Gallagher.
Thank you, President. I thank Senator Paterson for the question. I'm glad to get a question on the economy. We haven't had one for a while from the opposition, so I am very pleased to get one. And I would say it's interesting to get a question from the party that went to the last election, going to increase the taxes on every single 14 million employees, workers in this country, who went to the election with bigger deficits, higher taxes and bigger debt because they were going to borrow billions of dollars to raise electricity prices through the delivery of nuclear power stations. And I also note the inflation challenge that we inherited from those opposite. Well, I know you don't like the facts when it comes to the economic record, but when we came to government, inflation was running at 6.1%. It peaked in the December quarter of that year. It peaked in the December quarter of that year. Inflation running at 6.1%. We had massive deficits for the foreseeable future. What we have done is repaired the budget, got rid of the waste, returned the upside from the revenue that we've received to budget repair, and significantly lowered inflation, working hand-in-hand with the Reserve Bank to ensure that we did get inflation back into band. Now, we have seen inflation tick up in the results that we've seen for the September quarter, but when we look at, and I know those opposite were obsessed with trimmed mean inflation, underlying inflation has now been between 2 and 3% for 3 consecutive quarters, and it is higher than we'd like, but it's about half of what we inherited.
Thank you, Minister Gallagher.
What we inherited from those opposite.
Senator Paterson, first supplementary.
Thank you, President. As part of the inflation figures today, we learn that electricity costs are up annually 23.6%. What does the minister say to those Australians who will be paying higher power prices and struggling with higher interest rates because of the inflation your out-of-control spending is fuelling?
Thank you, Senator Paterson. Minister Gallagher.
Well, what I would say to households across Australia is that this government has your back. We are the ones that have put in place energy bill rebates as we go through some of the energy transition. 24 of the nation's 28 ageing coal-fired power stations announced they were closing within the decade under the former government. We saw energy generation leave the grid. We have ensured that that is getting back on track with gigawatts of energy coming back in. Those opposite failed the Australian community when it came to planning for our energy needs. This government is responsible. We're the ones that are dealing with it, whilst you continue to kill yourselves over energy.
Senator Paterson, second supplementary.
Thank you, President. The Governor of the Reserve Bank has recently warned that government spending is growing very quickly, with substantial deficits projected into the foreseeable future. The government now has higher inflation, out-of-control spending, record debt and higher unemployment. When will you admit that your economic management has failed and change your reckless policies?
Thank you, Senator Paterson. Minister Gallagher.
Thank you. Well, that coming from the spokesperson whose party took bigger deficits, bigger debt, who was going to savage public servants in order to pay for a failed energy policy, to come in here and start showing concern now. Well, we have turned 2 Liberal deficits into 2 Labor surpluses. We know that that hurts you. We have significantly reduced the deficit in the final budget outcome for the last financial year. We are dealing with areas of neglect that you failed consistently over 10 years to deal with it, whether it be in energy, whether it be in the NDIS, whether it be in aged care, whether it be in Medicare, whether it be in infrastructure. Everywhere you looked across government, You were ignoring the pressures facing the Australian economy, and we are dealing with it. We're dealing with it in a responsible way. We're being upfront and honest about these pressures, and we're repairing the budget at the same time.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering has